Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming in and joining us for AI Telematics 101. I'm Rich Perlman. I'm the VP of Sales at Global Cloud Fleet. Everything says Easy Fleet because Easy Fleet is the brand we take to the market in the transportation space. Global Cloud Fleet and Easy Fleet have, along with our parent company, have invested a lot in AI technology for transportation and for trucking, but we don't really talk about it. And kind of as a sales guy, I'm going to try and really not talk too much about technology. I want to cover the basics, but I really want to focus on what AI telematics does for your business, right? And the benefits to you. And if you're in the industry, if you work for a service or a tech provider or technology provider like I do, just maybe give you kind of a different idea of how to think about it and how to present it to your customers and your clients and your prospects. So with that, let's jump into it. I have the clicker, so it's up to me. So let's first cover what we'll talk about today. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep this really simple. I'm going to try and couch this in terms of business benefits, right? And present this kind of the fundamentals of AI telematics, talk about the benefits to your business, real-world applications for the trucking industry, right? How to implement AI telematics. And I know especially in small fleets, at Easy Fleet, we really focus on small and medium-sized fleets, right? How you can do that practically, even if your fleet has a lot of old vehicles in it, and then how to demonstrate your ROI, your return on investment, for investing in kind of the latest and greatest technology. But really what I want to do is give people, the confidence and the clarity about it to adopt it and implement it in your fleets. So first, let's talk about what is artificial intelligence. Besides that thing that is driving up everybody's electric bills, AI is really the ability for computer systems to accomplish tasks that usually involve human intelligence and human critical thinking, right? It can recognize trends, it can recognize patterns, it'll make decisions, it'll do all kinds of things, and it does that by processing and learning from vast amounts of data. A lot of people think, the computer is out there thinking. It's called artificial intelligence because it's not real intelligence. It's not thinking. It's processing. It's analyzing data and making decisions and recommendations based on that. Let's talk a little bit about telematics. I've been in the telematics industry for longer than I'd care to admit, 40 years, a little longer than that, right? And I kind of see the industry growth and evolution in three phases. Kind of the first phase of telematics was really fundamental, right? It was position information, primarily coming from GPS receivers, and wireless communication, primarily coming from cellular data networks, right? And providing that information back to a central source, right, a central computer and users to basically know where their vehicles are. The second phase is kind of where we've been in for a while and we're starting to come out of is growing beyond just location information to including in that information a lot of information about the vehicle and about the driver as well. And being able to take that information and give it to users so they can process it, they can look at it, and they can make decisions about their vehicles, their drivers, and their business operation based on all that information. I think the third phase, where we're entering now, I'll call AI telematics, right? And that is, we're now at the point we have all this information coming, all this location information about vehicles, drivers, and we now have the ability for the computer to help us analyze and make decisions about that data. Now, I'm going to try and stay away from jargon, but one of the terms you'll hear as you look at telematics as it is today and AI telematics, and especially dash cams, for example, you'll hear the term edge computing, right? And edge computing is really playing a big role in helping drive AI telematics. What edge computing is, it's really distributing the computing power, right? Today, historically, we sent all the data up from the vehicles, it went to servers and computers and back offices somewhere and got processed. Now with edge computing, the processing can be done locally at the vehicle level. And it allows information to be presented to the driver in real time so they can do something with that. A really basic example of that distinction is speed alerts, right? Using telematics to know somebody's going over the speed limit, right? Telematics device in the vehicle doesn't know what the speed limit is, right? It knows how fast the vehicle's going, sends that up over the wireless network, and then the server in the back office processes that against the big map database and knows that the speed limit on Main Street's 35 miles an hour, the vehicle's going 45 miles an hour, right? With edge computing, you have a dash cam in your vehicle looking out the front of the vehicle, right? It can read the speed limit sign. It can recognize the number pattern on the speed limit sign. It will know in real time that the speed limit's 35 miles an hour, right? And that the vehicle's going 45 miles an hour, and be able to communicate that directly to the driver. In traditional telematics, you don't have that communication back to the driver, at least not in real time. You're going to have to text him or send him an email that says, hey, you were speeding at this point. So a big advantage there in being able to present information to the vehicle operator in real time. All right, so let's talk about AI telematics for the trucking industry, right? And again, I'm going to focus on the business benefits, what it does, right? And the key things are there at the bottom of the slide. It's going to improve safety. It's going to give you a safer fleet. It's going to lower your costs. And it's going to lower your costs around vehicle maintenance, vehicle reliability, people, fuel efficiency, right? And through improved safety, lower cost, it's going to drive higher profitability. But it's going to do something else as well. It's not only going to improve your bottom line, your profit, it's going to improve your top line as well, your revenue, because it's going to enable you to do more business with the resources that you already have, whether it's your vehicles, your drivers, whatever. That's a really important component of this. All right. So let's talk about some of the elements of how it will improve your business and how it will improve both your top and your bottom line. Predictive maintenance. Now, if you've been sitting in some of the sessions already today, you've already heard a lot about predictive maintenance. I won't spend too much time on it, but it's really taking the information that the vehicle sends you via your telematics device, right? Whether it's mileage, temperature conditions, anything you can pull off of the vehicle data bus, information about the vehicle. It could be your brakes, engine oil temperature, you name it, mileage, right? And taking that information and then projecting or predicting what maintenance a vehicle will need and when. Traditional telematics, hey, I can set up a maintenance alert. I need to know in 5,000 miles or a certain amount of engine hours, or in 3 months, certain maintenance is due on a vehicle, right? Or if the check engine light comes on, certain maintenance is due on the vehicle. This gets ahead of that, right? This will tell you what maintenance is due on what vehicles before you would otherwise know that it needs to be done. It'll allow you to get ahead of major service needs on your vehicles. It'll reduce breakdowns on the road and reduce very large expenses because it solves small problems before it turns into big problems. All right, fuel optimization. All right, AI will do a lot of things there, and it attacks it from multiple angles. Right, not only idling. We all know that an idling vehicle is wasting fuel, but it impacts routing and route optimization, right? Taking into account trends and factors around traffic conditions, knowing when customers are available, driver specialties, vehicle specialties and capacities, right? And focusing all that in around real-time conditions to make sure your vehicles are taking the best route available to them and maybe making the stops and the customer visits that they have to do in the right order, in the optimum order, in order to get that done. Now, there's some people will say that when you're looking at your biggest cost in operating a business, it might be the people. Some people will say it's fuel. I think at least over the last month, definitely fuel has become a very big cost for us, right? So dealing with that is very important, and being able to deal with that quickly is very important. And that's where AI telematics can help you, right? So I already talked about routing. For the most part, it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. But when I talk about being able, AI can detect patterns and make recommendations. It's inputting all this information, it's crunching it, and it'll recommend a route for your drivers. It'll reroute your vehicles and recommend a route for them in real time. All right. Finally, identifying risky driving behavior in real time, right? And it will do a lot of things. I'm going to spend a little more time a bit later talking about dash cams and what they will do. But again, AI will detect a variety of driver behaviors that are dangerous and inefficient. And the advantage of AI, especially having it implemented inside your vehicle with your telematics device, is it can provide that information to the driver in real time. It will give the driver the opportunity to self-correct, right? Whether he's being inefficient or he's being dangerous or he's drowsy and he doesn't know it, right? It's very impactful, right? And gets right to the source of the issue with the driver right away. It doesn't, although it provides the information to management, right? It doesn't rely on management to have to go and coach the driver after the fact, right? All right. Implementing new technology on old trucks. Again, I mentioned earlier, we focus mainly on small and medium-sized fleets, and a lot of small fleets are running older equipment, right? So, and people say, well, I've got old trucks. I can't put new technology in old trucks. Well, you can put new technology in any truck, whether it's an old truck or not. Modern AI-driven telematics devices install very easily, right? And they can be installed, a variety of ways. Vehicles have diagnostic ports, right? Whether it's a J1939 port, 9-pin port. Today's vehicles, you see 16-pin ports, 14-pin ports for diagnostics. And in older vehicles, 20 and 30-year-old vehicles, maybe older, you'll see a 6-pin port, right? You can take advantage of those and just plug the device in there. And a device will pull information off the vehicle bus. Even if it's an older vehicle, doesn't have a lot of information on the vehicle bus, the device will still use that information to power it and know when it should be on and when it should be capturing information and communicating with the driver, right? Modern devices just are very easy to install. A dash cam just sticks to the windshield. Right? You just run a wire along under the headliner, down the A-pillar, and plug it into a diagnostic port. Don't have a diagnostic port? It's a simple connection. It's power, ground, and ignition. Very simple, right? You don't have to pull your trucks off the road for hours at a time to get these things installed. Even a good mechanic will do a power, ground, and ignition install in 45 minutes to an hour, right? You don't even need professional installation out of someone that focuses on installing this technology. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. All right. So retrofitting your older fleets, if you want to go ahead, if somebody wants to go ahead and do that, we suggest with customers that are hesitant to do this that they start small, right? Pick your high-value assets or maybe your highest risk drivers, right? And start with them. Right? Do a pilot program. Do a limited number of vehicles, right? Realize the return on investment on that, right? And from there, then you go ahead and expand your deployment through the rest of your fleet. You got a small fleet, do it with one vehicle, right? See what it'll do for you. You'll be really surprised, all right? All right, budget-friendly deployments. So, along with starting small, prioritize what you're going to focus on first. And we say focus on safety first, because safety is your biggest financial risk, right? Getting in an accident that is the fault of one of your drivers and one of your vehicles involved can be catastrophic financially, even if you're insured, right? From there, focus on maintenance, right? And reducing the downtime and the service requirements of your vehicles. And then from there, focus on routing. Now, you want to save fuel, you focus on maintenance, you're going to save fuel. You focus on routing, you're going to save fuel. One of the reasons we say you focus on routing last, because it's one of the hardest things to implement, right? Especially in smaller companies, because you'll frequently run into drivers and fleet operators that'll look at a route that's been generated through AI and been generated for them automatically, and they're like, that's not how I've done things for the last 20 years. And they'll be hesitant to implement that. So give them some confidence in the system, right? Improve safety, improve maintenance, improve driver performance, and then you can focus on routing from there. All right. Let's talk a little about video telematics, i.e. dash cams. And we're going to talk about dash cams because it is the hottest product in telematics and probably the hottest product definitely the hottest product in AI telematics, right? And dash cams today are pretty powerful devices in a little box. There's cameras in there, they're AI powered, there's tracking devices in there, there's computing capability in there. As I said earlier, they can process locally in the vehicle, do real-time event detection, right? Warn the driver right then and there, communicate with the driver right then and there, and then also upload that data to the cloud to allow your business operations to make some bigger decisions about the operation of the business based on the information that's coming from the vehicle. And as I said, these things are very easy to install. That gentleman right there is just sticking that camera with adhesive that comes with the camera, sticking it to the windshield, going to run the wire around, plug it into the diagnostic port on the truck. Very straightforward. Now, how does AI enhance video? Well, where the AI comes in, remember I said AI detects patterns, right? And can make decisions and recommendations, right? So it's going to look at all the images that it sees, and it's going to be able to detect and know when a driver is distracted. He might be looking down at his phone, might be talking, might be eating, might be smoking, right? Might be doing all kinds of things. He may not know that he's not paying attention. He may be drowsy and maybe nodding off, and his eyes are starting to close, right? AI is going to pick that up, and it's going to communicate that to the driver right away. It's going to pick up things like seatbelt violations and tell him to strap in his seatbelt. It's going to be able to look at the vehicle in front of your truck, know how fast your truck is going, right? Sense how fast that vehicle's going, and know the following distance between the two, right? And make a recommendation that says, hey, you're following a little too close, you need to back off, or even increase the severity of that to say, hey, a collision is imminent, right? And you need to do something very quickly and more drastically so you don't run into the vehicle in front of you. Vulnerable road user detection, right? Dash cams today come with, you can get auxiliary cameras or the main camera that goes out of the front of the vehicle that can sense and identify pedestrians, cyclists, people on the road that you might not otherwise see there, especially if you're driving a big vehicle, and give you a warning that they're there, and then also do simple things like lane departure. Now, some people will say, hey, I don't need lane departure, right? Because my vehicle has lane departure built into it, right? And it has, I'm following too close, or it may set and follow automatically by itself, right? But what you're not getting out of those systems, although they're great, they're very valuable, right, is it's not adding in with all of the other data that comes through your telematics device about the driver, about the vehicle, right, and allowing AI to make decisions and recommend to fleet managers that say, hey, this particular driver might be at more risk than another driver for having an accident due to a variety of conditions that they see with that driver. All right, protecting your business, right? Very first thing. If you're driving a commercial vehicle, you're driving around the billboard. You're driving around a billboard that somebody's going to look at that billboard with your name on it, and they're going to see dollar signs as well, right? So the great thing about this technology is it's going to capture all the information when the vehicle's moving. So when someone calls and says, "Hey, you know, your guy ran into my truck, you guy ran into my car today," this truck at any given time, you'll be able to go back and get that information. Exoneration, really, really helpful. And keep exoneration in mind because it's a really good tool for selling this technology to drivers and getting their buy-in. Reduce litigation costs, faster insurance resolution, having those images, having that data, very important. And again, data-driven driver coaching, right? Like we say here, it's not about surveillance, right? Prevention, protection, and accountability, right? And involving your drivers in that and getting ahead of it. Building a safety culture, right? And this is really important. Coaching becomes objective. The computer is making the decision. It's not thinking. Right? It's not going, well, he might be falling a little too close, I better say something, right? It's making some definitive decisions by crunching and processing vast amount of data, right? Data replaces opinions, right? And gives the drivers the information to improve their performance and improve what they're doing, right? And insurance carriers are increasingly fond of dash cams, and we're already seeing more and more insurance carriers requiring it, right? Early on, as dash cams were first deployed, the question we get a lot is, well, can I get a discount from my insurance carrier? It's kind of gone beyond that to at what point is your insurance carrier going to require you to have this technology in your vehicle? Because they're already doing that, right? So a safer fleet, right, is going to help you attract better drivers, because better drivers are worried about safety, right? And they're not paranoid that you're watching them, right? And your customers are worried about safety too, right? And getting their goods and services delivered to them in a timely fashion and in good condition. So it helps your business. Again, helps the bottom line of your business, helps the top line of your business. So implementing this technology without, I don't know if that's a real sentence, implementation without overwhelm. Well, it's implementing this technology without overwhelming your people or your business, right? You don't need an IT department to put this technology in place. It's cloud-based, right? So everything is, whether the decisions are made locally, right, or on the back end, it's up in the cloud, right, and all the information is available. You don't, besides installing the devices in your vehicles, right, and having a browser on your computer or having an app on your mobile phone, there's nothing else you need to do. Our solution, most solutions will give you very user-friendly dashboards. You can see things graphically, right? Information will be prioritized for you, right? You don't have to comb through a lot of data. That's what AI does. It combs through a lot of data and makes recommendations to you as to what you need to focus on. It's accessible at the desktop. It's accessible in the field on your mobile devices, right? And if you have the right provider, right, they're going to help you get set up. They're going to not just install the device for you, they're going to work on setting up your system, setting up your dashboards, your reports, your alerts, and help you use the information that AI is creating for you. All right? Now, I used to say when it came to telematics and sitting there at your desktop and looking at all this information, right? If you can use Google Maps and you can use Excel, you can use telematics, at this point things are a lot simpler. You can use a smartphone, right? You can use AI telematics because it's all right there in the palm of your hand, right? ROI framework, proving the value, your return on investment in AI telematics, right? Things you can measure, accident frequency, your cost per mile. What are you spending on fuel? Although no matter what you do, I think right now your cost on fuel is going to go up for a while, right? Your cost on vehicle maintenance, vehicle downtime, right? And your insurance premiums as well. Lower accident rates mean lower insurance premiums. Check with your insurance provider. You may get lower insurance premiums just for having the technology available in your operation in your vehicle. It says most fleets see measurable impact within months. Many fleets will see a positive financial impact of implementing this technology within weeks. Hey, just core telematics, even without the AI, will benefit your business very quickly. So take advantage of that. Common concerns, and the first concerns will come from the drivers, right? They're going to resist this technology. They don't like Big Brother watching them, right? But there's a lot of things you can do around your implementation to help mitigate that. First, the communication around exoneration, right? This technology will more often than not validate that your driver didn't do something than that he did do something, right? You can also set up these systems so if you're worried about your drivers feeling like Big Brother's watching them, so they'll coach the driver, but that doesn't mean they have to report the data back to a central system, right? So they can, and this is what we tell people that are skeptical about deploying this technology: do a pilot, put the systems in the vehicles, right? Have them coach your drivers, but don't record any of the information back in your back office, right? And then compare your accident rates, your safety rates, your cost, et cetera, with before you did your pilot without even recording it, and then start recording the information, right? Concern, it's too expensive, right? Compare the cost to one major accident. One major accident, especially in a small business, can put you out of business, right? And there's no need for that to happen, right? If you end up in court and you end up in front of a jury, you have to be prepared also for the lawyer, for the guy that's claiming against you, to ask if you've done everything you can do to ensure the safe operation of your vehicles, right? And lawyers are now asking, do you have dash cams? Do you have tracking? Do you have modern AI technology in your vehicles, right? If you don't, you're in trouble at that point, right? And then finally, it's complicated. It's not complicated. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to set up. It's very easy to install. Like I said earlier, start simple. Do a pilot. Just put it in a couple of vehicles, right? See what it'll do for you, and then build on the benefits you see from there, right? The future of trucking, right? AI telematics, it's not a luxury. It's not a trend, right? It's not a Silicon Valley experiment. It's none of those things, right? It is here today, and it will be an integral part of truck fleet operations going forward. You'll see, if you walk through the exhibit hall, right, you'll see a lot of providers out there that have AI in their name, right? I notice, and some other providers that leverage AI technologies, the fleet tracking companies, right, dashcam companies like what we do at Easy Fleet, and I noticed many of those booths were not very crowded, right? Come back in a year, come back next year or the year after, those booths are going to be very crowded. This technology is not going away. The requirement to have it is not going away, right? Get into an advantage over your competitors. Jump on this sooner, right? Adopt this early, right? Excuse me. Don't panic, right? As I say, lead, be first. AI telematics, it's easy, it's practical to set up, it's very affordable in terms of buying the technology. It's not that expensive. Telematics providers such as Easy Fleet, our competitors, they offer a variety of pricing options where you don't even have to put money up front. You can lease the systems over time. It's a very scalable solution. It will grow with you as your fleet grows, right? It will drive profitability. Again, remember what I said at the beginning, right? It's just not about driving an improvement to the bottom line of your business. It will drive an improvement to the top line of your business by making you more efficient, right? And finally, like I say, it's not, should we adopt AI telematics? It's, at this point, you should be focused on how quickly can I get started and how quickly can we get it implemented. All right. Thank you. Kind of the basics, the benefits to your business. I think we left a little bit of time. Got a few minutes for questions, if there are any questions. I have a bright light in my eye, so I can't see. So if somebody has a question, please stand up or raise your hand. Yeah, over here.
I'm a former Silicon Valley truck driver. Oh,
Oh, great.
This doesn't work. Hello? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Everybody can hear me. I don't hear this. There you go. So yeah, I'm a former Silicon Valley nerd. I'm curious about your back end. You mentioned edge devices and stuff. What model are you using?
Well, I'm the sales guy. You're asking the wrong guy.
The reason I'm asking is I'm curious how you guys are mitigating hallucinations with AI.
That's good. That's a very good question, and it happens. You get false alerts, and the way they get dealt with, at least at this point, you can adjust the sensitivity of the devices. And again, if you look at dash cams, right? The way our dash cams are set up, you can adjust the sensibility around any of the AI-generated events, right? You can enter factors like the vehicle class. Is it a light-duty, heavy-duty, a medium-duty vehicle? And then a lot of times, it's early technology. A lot of information, it goes back to engineering, right? And it goes to them to improve the AI.
It's an ongoing process.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, actually, I have two questions. The first
Sure.
one, I don't need a microphone. If you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
We need it for the video. Okay. It's just going to be really loud.
Make sure you get your royalties for the video. Don't do this for free.
So the first question is, I already have cameras, obviously, with my ELD. This is not an ELD system. It's just AI in the camera tracking.
For us, our system's very modular, right? So it can be just a camera. It's a camera with telematics. You can add ELD to it as well.
So say if I've got motive on some of my trucks, I've got geotab on others. We do surf
Surfsight.
site cameras for the geotab. Motive has its own camera. So
Sure.
we could use the cameras with the current ELDs that we have there. Are they integrated? You work together?
I don't know too much about motive, so you check with them. I would imagine you could. With geotab, you definitely could.
Yeah, and it's the second question is, our cameras are really stupid. So whenever you drive through a construction zone, it's always trying to throw you. The newer trucks have lane departure correction. So it throws the drivers back and forth because they've changed the lane markings, kind of. So some of the lanes are still there, ghosting, and then some of the lanes go like this. So the trucks are being pushed back and forth. And I'm wondering, is any of the AI helping to really recognize and learn the things that are actually out there that don't fit like a cookie cutter landscape? You know what I mean?
So when it's pushing the trucks, I think you're talking about the technology that's installed in the truck. It's
Right.
It's not the dash cam that's
Right.
doing that, right?
No, yeah.
So your Surfsight
the
dash cam
Bendix
or your
system.
motive dash cam is not communicating with the safety systems in the trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the Bendix system, and it's got lane departure and it's got forward collision,
Right.
But they're not very smart, and I don't really see that part of the technology is really improving very much. I'd also like to know if there's any way to use AI to integrate with live time traffic conditions, so that we get stopped at 2, 3 in a day. You get stopped at 2 or 3 major accidents on the highways, and you could have been rerouted if you had any idea that up 5 miles ahead there's a fatal accident and the roads are closed. You know what I mean?
So those are great questions. So we'll take them a little bit one at a time, right? No technology is perfect, right? With AI and vehicle technologies, right? We're still in the early phases. You play a big role in making that better. So when things don't work to your satisfaction, you need to communicate that back to your provider, whether it's your vehicle provider or your dash cam provider or whoever. You need to give them that feedback, as we were talking about before with this gentleman, right? False things happen, things could be better. Continue to communicate that back, so the developers will improve this, right? Then your other question was on routing, right? That's coming, right? The ability to factor in all those factors in real time and be able to reroute you in real time using AI is coming. The technology's out there, right? I worked on some of the stuff 15 years ago to do real-time routing based on that. They're going to be able to factor in traffic conditions ahead, weather, your vehicle, your driver, right? It's coming. Just a matter of time. Question right here.
Hi, my name is Amy. Do you have any solution for real-time weighing? Because the payload is very critical to load efficiency, safety, and even fuel cost.
So you say real-time loading?
Weighing,
payload. There are solutions out there that will do real-time weighing and will do weigh in motion on a vehicle or on a trailer.
So what kind of sensor you use for?
Actually, anybody that's going to ask me heavy-duty technical questions, I apologize. You're asking the wrong guy.
So you think it's critical, right?
What's that?
So you think it's very critical, right?
Well,
Payload.
I think weight is very critical for safety, right? There's no question about that, and I think all of these factors combined, this is the power of AI, right? It's being able to process this vast amount of information, right? Whether it's weight, whether it's traffic conditions, right? Whether it's learning from false information before, right? To be able to improve safety in real time and give you the trends and the information you need to improve the business. It's a really good question. This gentleman right here.
Yeah, sounds like you mentioned the video telematics, that actually very valuable in providing the information. Like, because my expertise in traffic safety, especially we are facing some challenges, how to identify the just like causation analysis, what the root reason about any the type of the crashes. And I think video telematic, I believe that most of the the telematic information rely on the dash camera. So my question is that, is there any platform that collect those dash camera data? How do you get this data? Like put them into in the format of a cloud sensing or cloud crowd the way to collect the data. Is there any platform available right now?
So that's a really good question, and I think it goes to how do you get the video information from the dash cam
from different
all these different vehicles up into the cloud, so people who, like you, are focused on traffic safety
over the network
can benefit from that information. So I will tell you, our applications and most applications take AI-generated events, right, and automatically upload those to the cloud. So if somebody's tailgating, right, or they've been in an accident, or they're drowsy, right, AI is going to sense that, it's going to warn the driver, it's going to create an event, and it's going to upload a 30-second to 2-minute video to the cloud, right? But what doesn't get uploaded to the cloud is all the video that's being recorded, but hasn't triggered an AI-generated event, right? That stays local on the camera for the most part, and at some point, depending on the size of the memory in the camera, gets overwritten, right? So the event data gets uploaded, it gets saved, right? The non-event information, right, generally is disposable, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, very, very, very useful and valuable using those historical data stored in one platform. Yeah, especially for make relevant safety analytics.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Excellent question. Any other questions? Oh, great. Those were great questions. I appreciate everyone's attention. If you had any questions that aren't too technical that you didn't want to ask in front of everybody, love to talk to you afterwards. So, guys, thank you very much.